Welcome to my video about how to install Commerce Scale Unit on a development environment with demo database. And the goal of today's video is to show you the step-by-step process how to make the configurations of the commerce and run the POS, make very simple actions there. And there is no goal to show you what is the architecture or how and why the retail works. And to simplify this process, I have created the PowerShell script, which make it easier and faster for you. And I hope you will like it. Let's go. So we actually have some prerequisites, which is we need to have the LCS cloud hosted environment, which is deployed to Azure. And you should also have permissions to create the Azure Active Directory app registrations. Possibly that you will need the application developer role in the Azure. So actually the main idea is if you are able to do the same steps that are described in this article from Microsoft, then the script will work as well and do some parts of this of the steps automatically. So in order to start, I have already deployed the brand new environment in the LCS. So it will be absolutely from scratch. I will do all the steps just like from the beginning when you have a new machine, and you will see what are possible problems there and how you can do that quickly and to install the cloud scale unit and all the POSs and the hardware station. So let's start. Let's switch to our newly deployed machine and see what we have there. So what I'm doing all the time when I have a new machine is to install all the needed PowerShell modules. And I also stop all the services that are related to Dynamics to make it a little bit quicker, to make it a little bit faster. So let's try to do that. So in order to do that, we need the command line. So as you can see, it's absolutely brand new. I didn't open it yet. So let's see what we can do. And in order to make all the services not to start in the when the machine is starting, so we use the command that will put the startup type to manual. Okay, it was executed, and now we need to stop all of them as well. In the same time, I would install the PowerShell model that should be known by anyone who is working with Dynamics. It's D65 FO tools. So the services has been stopped. We will need them later, but for now it's better to stop them. So it asks if we can install the NuGet. Yes, let's do that. And at the same time, we will need to approve that we can install this module from the PS gallery, and we put yes as well. In the meantime, I will get the IIS to have the URL of our D365 environment itself. So let's open that. And yes, I will skip everything there. We don't need it now. Okay, so I will log on. Okay, it has been installed, and we will also need the USRT company, which is US Retail, which we will configure to use together with to use our POSs actually. So what we need to do is to set the user options to make it a little bit bigger and put it into the preferences that we want to use the US retail by default. So let's save that and go to the main page of the Dynamics. Okay, as you can see, it's a USRT now. Let's save this to the favorites and see what we could do next. Is well, to a little bit speed up our virtual machine. We will use this command from the D365FO tools module, which will add some Windows Defender rules and make less validation and checks for the viruses and everything, or maybe less scans for the Dynamics components. So yeah, it will help us a little bit. What we will need as well, let's open the article itself on the machine. And in order to use the script, we actually need as well to install the Microsoft Graph's PowerShell modules. So let's do that in advance, because they will be used to create the app registration on your behalf. Let's do that as well. Exactly what we can do, we can install the whole Microsoft Graph module, but as well we can only install the specific sub modules which is actually used in the script. And there are two of them. It's Microsoft.Graph.Authentication and the Microsoft.Graph.Applications. So let's do that. Let's try to simplify it a little bit. Yes, we would like to do that. So the installation will be much faster. Okay. And the authentication as well. Oops. Don't want to copy. What's going on? Let's open this second one. And in the meantime, I think it was already installed by the applications once. Anyway, what we need to do, we need to download the script itself, because it will do the first steps that we have in the in this article. It will create the SSL certificates for the cloud commerce scale unit and the hardware station. So as well, we will need this certificate to install them on the app registration. So as you can see, there are quite a lot of steps that should be done. We have even separate article which describes how to create the Microsoft Enter ID app registrations. So let's see what do we have there. I've put the script to the GitHub gist. So what we need to do, just go to row and save it to the C temp. Okay. Okay, it of course it added the txt extension, but we just need to remove that. Let's do that. And we should have exactly PS1 extension. And I think we also need to unblock that just to be sure that everything is okay. And right now, all we need to do is to right click and press run with PowerShell. So as you can see, it will make some checks that everything is compliant, like we have run it as administrator and that we have the Microsoft Graph modules installed, because if we don't have them, it will just won't run. And we have some old school scatter, let's call it like that, and the description, what will be done, what will be executed actually. So we will do we will create the certificates and install them into the root store, both for the cloud scale unit and commerce scale unit and the hardware station. And it will create two Microsoft Enter ID applications. One is for the commerce scale unit and one for the store commerce for web or the cloud POS. And it says as well which names it will use for the applications. And then we need to do some manual steps as well. In the Dynamics itself, we need to configure everything, and we need to download the LCS installers, the sealed installers, and then the script will install them as well, correctly using the certificates and the Microsoft Enter ID applications. So it asks if we are ready, just not occasionally started or started by mistake. So let's press yes, and we need to authenticate into the Microsoft Azure. So let's do that and approve everything. Click yes. Then it says okay, it has been succeeded, and press any key to start the process. And when I press this, it becomes all the magic. So both of the certificate has been generated, and as you can see, we have the manual steps. It's quite a lot of, but nothing special actually. As you can see, we have two certificates and we have their thumbprints, one for the commerce scale unit, one for the hardware station, and we have two Azure app registrations. Everything is configured, everything is ready to go. And what I want to mention here as well, that if something goes wrong, you can rerun the script and it will check if already the same certificates has been generated or the same Azure app registration has been created. So if you want to restart this process, it's not a problem. You can just remove all the certificates and all the app registrations and rerun it from scratch. It's not a problem. And for example, if certificates has been already generated and you can just regenerate the Azure app registrations without any problem, it will understand, okay, the certificates are there. Of course, it will use the friendly names or display names, but I think it should not be a problem, just to simplify the process. Yes, initially the goal was to create very simple script with just the basic execution for the like one-time script that will install the certificates, install the app registrations. But during the implementation of that, I understood, okay, we need something to retry the process to save the time. Actually, right after the recording this video, I have realized that I didn't show anything related to the certificates and the actual app registration. So let's have a quick look at that. Actually, that's those two app registration that have been created. And as you can see, that CSU1 have the certificate that was generated. It was installed as a secret to this app registration, and we can quickly have a look at that. The application ID URI has been generated, the certificate, it has been imported, automatically. And the new API, the new API has been created here. So everything is in place like it should be. And as well, we have, I think it's everything on the CSU app side, and on the CPOS we have almost the same, but we have an access to permissions of the CSU, and as well we have the, let me check, yeah, we have the redirect URIs provided there. That's just everything. And no, maybe that's not everything. We as well need to enable the implicit flows for the access tokens and the ID tokens. And I don't remember, maybe yes, in the token configuration we need to provide this SID for both ID and access token as well. And that's it. But it was done automatically, so it really saves a lot of time instead of doing everything manually. And as well for the certificates, if we go to the manage computer certificates, oops, we can open that and see that's in the personal ones. We have the certificates with names Hardware Station 2024 and the KSU 2024. These two certificates has been generated, and you can see that we have all the, because it was a problem, you cannot use IIS anymore because you need the digital signature key usage here, and the certificates which are generated in the IIS, they don't create this key usage, so you need to use the PowerShell script to generate that, and it actually does all the things. And as well, it will be reinstalled to Trusted Root Certificate store, because without that it won't really work. Yep, that's it. What we need to do right now, we need to go and set up, or let's say execute all the manual steps in the Dynamics itself. So we need to open Dynamics and to go through these steps. So from the Microsoft Azure and certificates, everything is ready. And as you can see, all the steps contains the actual data, actual IDs that you need to use to simplify this process. So let's go to step 1. Let's open the form with Microsoft Enter ID Applications and provide the data. So we can use search to simplify that. And create a new record and copy the values from our manual steps. So the client ID is something like that. The user ID is retail service account. When you start typing retail, it's already there. Commerce scale unit. Okay, let's save that. Close this. That's it. Let's open the channel database and create a new record as well. As you can see, I just copy all the names of the forms in the search and it's already there. So we create the new channel database. Let's call it something like in the Microsoft article. Let's put it there. And we use the default channel database group and add one channel, which is Houston. Okay, that's exactly what we need. And it says, okay, it will need to do the sync and it will be very large. So don't start in your production, in your working hours. And we say yes, of course, we will not do that. And what we need to do as well, to download specific file, which is called store system setup. go to the download configuration file, and we need to put it to temp folder as well, because it will be just easier to store everything there. Okay. The next step, what we need to do is to create the channel database group, which is called legacy. I'm doing that. It's not described in the Microsoft article. And the idea is to remove everything from the old channel database. So we will just create the legacy and choose the AX schema like AX7. Okay. And let's call it some description like legacy data group. Okay. Okay, in the channel database, no, we don't create anything there. And the idea is to change the channel database group for the default channel, which includes a lot of retail stores, because it's not used anymore. It's connected to the internal SQL Server database, which is used for the headquarters itself. So what we will do, we will edit that and choose the legacy one. So we will not start any synchronization for that database and this database group. So what do we have now? We have a channel database that's our own, like DevSealed KSU, which is the only one in the channel database group default, and it has only one channel, which is Houston. So let's go to the next step. We need to create the new channel profile. Let's open that page as well. What we need to do there is to copy media server URL just to have it in our new channel profile. DevSealed KSU profile. I think we can use something like that. We need to save in order to add something there. And now we restore the same value for the media server and copy the values that we have there. For the retail server URL, just let's copy that. And one for the cloud POS. Okay, let's save that and move to the next step. We can validate profile and says, okay, everything is great. And the next step is going to all stores. And we need to find specific Houston store that we use, that we have been added to our channel database. Here it is. Maybe I can make it bigger a little bit. So what we need to do, we need to change the values for the channel profile to the newly created one and the live channel database. And as well, we need to change the closing method because it has some warning. So let's just put it the shift there and we can save that. But it's not everything. We have the hardware station fast tab. Let's go there and create the new one. As soon as we created a new one, we need to have the hardware station type shared, and the host name is the name of the machine. Let's provide it there. Description could be the same, it doesn't matter. And hardware profile, we use the virtual that could be used with the kind of virtual peripheral simulator, which we as well will download from the LCS and use. So that's enough. We will save this. Let's go to the next step. We need to configure the worker, which is Alexander Eggerer. So let's open the workers form Everything could be found in the search bar. Okay, it's almost in the beginning of the list. Let's open that. And we need to go to the Commerce tab here. And in order to do the changes, we need to open the Commerce tab of the action pane and clear identity. Yes, we are sure we want to do that. And now, as you can see, these external identity fields are available to provide some values that we can copy from here. Actually, you can use the associate existing identity form, but exactly after November 2023, it was a little bit broken because of the new security policies on the cloud hosted environments. I will provide a link from Johan Persson. I hope I correctly pronounce his name. And you could check how to fix that, because you need to provide your own certificates, how to do that. So in order to avoid this problem, we will just request the information about our user, our current user, which you have used to sign in there, and we can put all this data here. The idea of this associate existing identity form is to go to Microsoft Graph and pick exactly the same values from the Microsoft Graph. So we already done that in the script, so we can save this form and that will be enough. As well, I forgot to mention that for this script, you may need the admin consent to use the Microsoft Graph PowerShell module, and possibly you will need to send a request to your administrator. So yeah, you can check how it will work for you, but please remember about that. So what do we have as well? The next step, we need to go to the commerce shared parameters, because some of the steps are not described in the article. So we need to go to the identity providers tab and create some values. Without them, we can't use the store commerce for web. So let's do that. As you can see, what we need to do, we need to find the record that starts with sts.window.net and create the new record in the reliant parties with the following values. So this is the client ID. So we find it. In our case, this is the last one, Microsoft Info ID. Oops, I don't want to do anything. And we create a new client with the values that we have provided, and select type public and user type worker. And here we need to save, and then we will be able to provide the server resource ID. So we actually can call it something like store commerce for web. And we need to provide the value of the cloud scale unit with the API prefix. Okay, so we can call it as well commerce scale unit. It doesn't matter how you call it or how you name it, so just put anything to remember that this is our values. And let's go to the next step. Actually, now we need to prepare data that will be transmitted to your channel database. So we open distribution schedule form, and at this point we will need the batch server to execute the batch jobs. So let's first run the kind of data preparation. We need to find the 9999 job and click on the run now. it will say that, okay, there are a lot of things to update because we don't have anything already prepared. But in general, it could be like the full scene or the incremental scene. We will not go into the details, but we just click yes. And as well, we shouldn't run it in production in a working hour, and we agree with that. So let's click OK. And we need to start the batch job. And here the script is waiting for us to complete all the steps that you can see there. So let's complete them. I will just find the service. We have this Microsoft Batch Management Service. Let's start. As you can see, our first commands has been updated the startup type to manual. So I love to do that. So the startup time of the machine actually a little bit improves. So, okay, we have started the batch service. So this job will work in the background right now. And what we need to do as well to install something for our hardware station. Let's open the browser and do that. Okay, I hope it works. We need to use the first installer that you can see there. Just download it. And in the meantime, we also need to download the .NET, and both of them something like .ASP.NET Core and the desktop runtime. In order to run, we have two ways to run the POS, which is Store Commerce for web and the Store Commerce for Windows. And we have we need two options, two .NETs to run them. So let's do that. I'll just open both of them. And first we need to download the hosting bundle. Okay, and the second one, we need to open the .NET desktop runtime and download the x64 version. So, okay, it was downloaded 2 times, but that's okay. Let's install everything. Okay, the next one is .NET. We agree to all the terms. It will take some time. What we can do now is to find the workspace that it's called Retail and Commerce IT. Let's make it favorite and open this workspace. And what we will see there is how our job is working. Just let's open that. It's okay. The first one was installed, and the second runtime. Okay, it doesn't work, so let's refresh. Okay, it has been installed as well. So we almost done all the steps. And the last step is to download the installers. So let's see what do we have in the... Okay, it wasn't saved for some reason. Let's do this once again. So as you can see right now, we have all the data prepared to transfer to the channel database, but it's not yet deployed because we need to go to the LCS and download all the installers and actually install the commerce scale unit and the channel database. So let's do that. And actually the idea was creating the channel database group, which is legacy, to prevent all other data for all other stores other than Houston to download here and to prepare any packages, so it will be much faster there. So what we need to do now, we need to go to LCS, to the asset library of your project, where or maybe it could be any project actually. So I have a direct link, so we can be there straight away. And we need to choose the retail self-service package. And what we need to do next is import from the shared asset library our installers. And we need to be careful there. We need to import specifically exactly the same version as your machine. So we have the latest general availability machine, which is at the moment 39, and we will pick the store commerce. It's our store commerce for Windows. Let's import the hardware station and the actually commerce scale unit as well. You can see all these installers here. We need the commerce peripheral simulator. Let's pick this as well. And we need the hardware station, yep. All of them are sealed. Okay. So, and now we just need to download all of them and put them into the C temp. So let's open the folder, wait until it will be completely downloaded, and we just copy 4 of them to the temp folder. What I often do, okay, we can't do that, we can only do that one by one. So 3 of them will be installed via the script, and we just need to install the virtual peripherals. I unblock the installers because sometimes it could be a problem. It could be a problem to when your scripts or your installers are blocked by the defender. They are marked as the dangerous, or at least a little bit strange. You have downloaded them. It could cause very strange issues. So what we need to do, we need to install the virtual peripherals by ourselves. Just go to the next install. And this simulator will be available in the start menu. You can go there, you can see it, we can pin it to start. Okay, and now we are ready to continue. So just put the Y button, Y letter here, and let's start. So it will say, okay, we are running the commerce scale unit installer first, and of course it uses all the values that we already, for all the certificates and app registration that was already created. If this will fail for some reason, the script will ask you, like, do you want to retry the installer? And you actually can retry the same installer several times until you have fixed the problem that you have. Because sometimes you need to check the logs, you need to check what happened, but the installer may fail. So just read the logs and see what's going on there. So we're waiting for the exactly channel database deployment. And the next will be the hardware station. What could be problem if you open the event viewer, the hardware station installer will fail. So of course it's mentioned in the logs, but it's quite funny. So you need to be ready for that. At the same time, the Commerce Scale unit installs the async client, which will specifically download the prepared data and put it to the channel database that is deploying right now. And what we can do, because right now we have a service which is located in the program files, Microsoft Dynamics 365 10 Commerce Scale unit. Let's wait, of course. But in the async client, we have a config. Let's just wait a little bit to be sure that everything is okay. And we can change the time interval that is used to download the data. So how often we need to download the data, because right now by default it's specified as a 15 minutes, which is quite long. If you do some changes in the configuration, then you need to wait 15 minutes to transfer them to the database. So now, as you can see, the hardware station is installing and we can change this config. Okay, we need to use Notepad. Oh no, I didn't check that. I want the Notepad, yes. And if you scroll down a bit, even more, so you have the download interval and upload. So for our goal, we could change it to 2 minutes. And I don't want to use the Visual Studio now. And as you can see, the hardware station has been installed and the Store Commerce app for Windows has been installed. So, and we have the URLs that we can use to health check, to check that everything is correctly installed. So let's copy that and just put into our browser. And it says everything is okay for the Commerce Scale unit. And let's check the hardware station. Copy that and paste. And as well, the ping is successful, so everything is ready to go. And our next step, as you can see, the Store Commerce for Windows has been installed. So we can pin it to start and even open that. And as well, the script gives you the URLs that you will need for the activation or even to open the Store Commerce for web. So if I will put this URL into the browser, we can see the activation page and we can go through this. And of course, if I will open this KSU URL, it will show me the metadata. We can as well use this URL to see, okay, if everything is okay, but definitely this health check is much better. Let's do the activation and see how this works. So what do we need? We have, let's start with the Store Commerce for web. Let's go next. As you can see, the Commerce Scale unit is already provided. So we need to log in once again. And we need to give the consent to use the application that we have created, the Cloud POS itself for Store Commerce for web and our Commerce Scale unit application as well. So I accept that. And now I can choose the store, which is Houston in our case. And we can choose the first one, first register. Okay, and it asks me if I want to sign out, but I don't want to. So let's use the URL again, because it doesn't matter in our case, and close previous page. So what do we need to use there? It's 30160 and password 123. Okay. And it asks if we want to open the new shift, but we don't want to because we need to have a non-drawer operation in order to configure the hardware station. And let's do that. Let's select the non-drawer operation. As you can see, we already have the POS. We can close the welcome tour. And yeah, you have all the tiles. And in the end, you have the hardware station, and we can use the hardware station. We need to click manage, enable the hardware station, and we can see our let's say record that we have configured in the Houston store, and we enable that. Everything is great and we are happy. And now we need to click on this paired station just to select that. And now it asks, okay, do you want to open a new shift? And I click yes, now I can do that. And there are two configured drawers. I can just take the first one. And right now I can open the peripheral simulator. And I can use the virtual peripherals. It may take some time in order to make it work. I will just try to restart it several times when it will show me transaction is empty. Sometimes it just needs a little bit of restarts. Maybe I can start the printer. As you can see, you can use several kind of virtual devices, and you can play around later. Definitely what we just interested in if this works. Okay, let's close that for now. Okay, now the line display doesn't work, but let's try and add something to our transaction. Let's add any product. As you can see, media server URL was used for all these images of the products. So now it looks quite nice. And we can add any item and just try to sell them. Okay, it's already in transaction. Okay, it doesn't say anything there. Okay, and let's pay cash. Proceed. Okay, we can close that and ask, okay, do you want to print the gift receipt? Let's print all lines. And actually in our printer tab, we can see that, okay, something has been printed. Line display doesn't work anyway, but at least the hardware station is working. So it's really nice. Let's go to the Store Commerce app and do the same activation just to check that it works as well, because that's not the, it's just a normal application, normal Windows application. And here we need to provide this KSU URL first. Let's do that. Go next, and of course we need to provide the user. We need to log in as our user. Okay, I will not allow only sign into this app. And the same as we did in the Store Commerce for Web. Choose the Houston, but now we just choose different device, but it doesn't matter, just the first one. And the same is here, 000 160 123. And as well, we first need to connect the hardware station. And let's close the welcome tour and go to the hardware station. Click manage, enable that, pair to our created hardware station, and then select this. And we can open a new shift and choose the first drawer as well. Okay, you can see that both of them are provided in the virtual peripherals app. Okay, does it see? No. Okay. Let's try to sell something as well. So this is our store commerce for Windows app. Okay, let's add the item. Sometimes I can make it work, but not today. Maybe I need to restart the hardware station, I'm not sure. We can actually try to do that. We will close everything, and as you can see as well, I forgot to mention, now we have two new sites in the IIS, which is the hardware station and the commerce scale unit. Actually, it's called the retail store scale unit, but it's the same. And let's try maybe to stop and start this. We can close our script. Use the virtual peripherals. Let's open the store commerce. Okay, now it works and the transaction is empty. And when we add something more, we can definitely just cancel everything to start from the beginning. Let's add the sweater. And as you can see, now the line display is working and it shows the sweater here, which is great. Let's pay cash as well on this. Okay, I just took some note, but never mind. So yeah, the same is here, and in the printer we should see our sweater on the gift card, on the gift receipt, let's say. Okay, I'm just trying to make it bigger. Yep. And yeah, actually that's it. Sometimes it could be a problems with the with any step on this journey, and as soon as we already installed the KSU, the hardware station and everything, what you can do, you can open the event viewer, because it stores all the meaningful errors actually. And in the applications, in the application Windows log, you can find actual messages, both from the commerce scale unit and the hardware station. So just have a look. We need to wait a little bit. And as you can see, for some reason, the hardware station doesn't have correct source configured. But anyway, you can see the messages here after the kind of header. The same is for the store commerce app. You can see some logs, because right now everything is okay. Just show something meaningful. And okay, we have some, for example, yeah, we have some For the printer, we have an exception that's we cannot cut paper, I would say. I don't know what is that, but yeah, you can find all the exceptions, all the errors there, which is quite convenient because sometimes it could be some complex mistakes. And actually, one of the example of that, we have if I will open the article, which shows how to configure everything. I have faced one problem when I use this code to generate the certificate. For some reason, I have a mistake, I have an error, I have an exception when I try to pair the hardware station. It cannot be paired, neither with store commerce for Windows or store commerce for web because of the token validation error. And only in the event viewer we can find the real mistake, which is the real exception, which is access denied for the certification store. So I didn't check what is the real problem there with this script. I just used my own one. But it's quite funny that it doesn't work, and it's very, very tricky error that you need to check. You need to find the root cause for that. So that's it. Please write me a message if you have any questions or put them into the YouTube. And thank you very much for your attention, for your time. Hope this simplify the process for you, save some time, and show you how to do that from scratch. Yep. Thank you very much. Bye.